In news from Parliament, it's back to the debate on crime. Wrapping up his contribution on the bill was Golden Isles MP Charles Maynard, who ended just as he began last week, advising the youth of the country that there are positive options and they don't have to turn to a life of crime. Anthea Smith picks up the debate from here.
On day 3 of the crime bills debate in the House of Assembly, State Minister for Social Development Loretta Butler Turner says we didn't get into this crime problem overnight. She says as far back as the 1970s, many Bahamians had a huge culture of drug dependency that seemingly still exists on some islands today.
I remember, Mr. Speaker, they act as if these automatic machine guns that we're seeing today are something that just arrived here post-2007. I remember a young man who came from one of the family islands to work in my business. One day when he was disgruntled, he said to my father, "Oh, you want me to bring my Uzi for you?" And he had a Uzi from back in the early 1980s. Mr. Speaker, where did these guns come from? They were imported here, Mr. Speaker, with the entire drug culture that buoyed this economy in the 70s and 80s.
She added that the country's history, although some hate to admit it, is a major part of the problem, and in order to appreciate our present, we have to know what happened in the past and not sweep that history of major drug and gun running under the rug.
You want to talk about where did we go wrong? We went wrong when our young women and our young men decided that education was not the way to go, that community development and doing right was not the way to go. Morals were out the window. Materialism became the order of the day, and we lost all of our moral fiber back in those days, Mr. Speaker.
But it was PLP MP for Bain and Grantstown, Dr. Bernard Nottage, who says that's not entirely the case, adding that much of what happened in recent years is to blame.
What is so obvious to rational persons in the Bahamas, but eludes the FNM spokespersons in this hallowed place, is this undeniable fact. The FNM, under the leadership of the member for North Abaco, has been responsible for the governance of the Bahamas for 15 of the last 20 years. He cannot escape responsibility, Mr. Speaker, for the state of the nation, and neither can they.
But he says the government seeks to continuously place the blame squarely at the opposition's feet.
The government is responsible for ensuring that those whom they put in places of responsibility carry out their duties. So you can keep on blaming the PLP, but if we're going to take the blame, Mr. Speaker, let's step on the side and let us do the job. That's right.
Dr. Nottage adds that while the government is, through these bills, seeking to increase sentencing and toughen crime laws, he says he doesn't think the government has done enough to stem this, quote, tsunami of crime in the Bahamas. Anthea Smith, ZNS News.